Hello, sixth graders. It's me, Mrs. James. I am here to... Just found a pin in my hair. That's the kind of morning I'm having. But I am here to read the second part of chapter 6 to you from Harry Potter. Let's everybody turn to page 101. We're going to go back to the bottom of page 101. Let you guys get there, and while you get there, like and subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button, period. Okay, let's go to page 101. Open your book, turn to page 101, and we're gonna go right here in the middle where it says Ron. See that? Ron did something. What did Ron do? Ron stared. All right, so let's just jump right into it. All right. Ron stared as Harry brought it all back to the compartment. Do you remember what Harry's bringing back? He bought tons of candy, tons of stuff off of the cart in the train that they're on. It actually tells Bertie's Bots, every flavor beans. Those are like jelly beans, chocolate frogs, yum, pumpkin pasties, caldron cakes, licorice wands. Okay, tons of things that he brought back. I'm going to put a star there because they are going to have their own big back adventure. All right, Ron stared as Harry brought it all back to the compartment and tipped it onto an empty seat. Hungry, are you? Starving, said Harry, taking a large bite out of a pumpkin pasty. That sounds good. I need to learn how to make those. Sorry. Pause for a second. Yum. Pumpkin pasty sounds yum. Anyway, Ron had taken out a lumpy package and unwrapped it. There were 4 sandwiches inside. He pulled one of them apart and said, "She always forgets I don't like corned beef." "Swap you for one of those," said Harry, holding up a pasty. "Go on." "You don't want this. It's all dry," said Ron. "She hasn't got much time," he added quickly. "You know, with 5 of us." "Go on, have a pasty," said Harry, who had never had anything to share before, or indeed anyone to share it with. It was a nice feeling sitting there with Ron, eating their way through all Harry's pasties, cakes, and candies. The sandwiches lay forgotten. "What are these?" Harry asked Ron, holding up a pack of chocolate frogs. "They're not really frogs, are they?" He was starting to feel that nothing would surprise him. "No," said Ron, "but see what the card is. I'm missing a gripper." "What?" "Oh, of course you wouldn't know. Chocolate frogs have cards inside them, you know, to collect famous witches and wizards. I've got about 500, but I haven't got a gripper or Ptolemy." Harry unwrapped his chocolate frog and picked up the card. It showed a man's face. He wore half-moon glasses, had a long crooked nose, and flowing silver hair, beard, and mustache. Underneath the picture was the name, Albus Dumbledore. Now, 6th graders, where have we heard that name before? Albus Dumbledore. Where have we heard it before? Think about that. "So, this is Dumbledore," said Harry. "Don't tell me you've never heard of Dumbledore," said Ron. "Can I have a frog? I might get a gripper. Thanks." Harry turned over his card and read, Albus Dumbledore, currently headmaster of Hogwarts, considered by many the greatest wizard of modern times. Dumbledore is particularly famous for his defeat of the dark wizard Grindelwald in 1945, for the discovery of the 12 uses of dragon's blood, and his work on alchemy with his partner Nicholas Flamel. Professor Dumbledore enjoys chamber music and 10-pin bowling. Harry turned the card back over and saw to his astonishment that Dumbledore's face had disappeared. "He's gone." 13 minutes left. Okay, anyway, sorry. "He's gone." "Well, you can't expect him to hang around all day," said Ron. "He'll be back." "No, I've got Morgana again, and I've got about 6 of her. Do you want it? You can start collecting." Ron's eyes strayed to the pile of chocolate frogs waiting to be unwrapped. "Help yourself," said Harry. "But the Muggle world, people just stay put in photos." "Do they? What, they don't move at all?" Ron sounded amazed. "Weird." Harry stared at Dumbledore, sidled back into the picture on his card, and gave him a small smile. Ron was more interested in eating the frogs than looking at the famous witches and wizard cards, but Harry couldn't keep his eyes off them. Soon he had not only Dumbledore and Morgana, but Hengst of Woodcroft, Alberic Grunion, Circe, Parlesius, and Merlin. He finally tore his eyes away from the Drudius Cladonia, who was scratching her nose, to a bag of Bertie Bott's every flavor beans. "You want to be careful with those," Ron warned Harry. "When they say every flavor, they mean every flavor. You'll get all the ordinary ones like chocolate and peppermint and marmalade," top of page 104. "But then you get spinach and liver and tripe. George reckons he had a bogey-flavored one once." Ron picked up a green bean, looked at it carefully, and bit into a corner. "Whoa, see? Sprouts." They had a good time eating every flavor beans. Harry got toast, coconut, baked bean, yuck, strawberry, curry, yuck, grass, yuck, coffee, sardine, yuck, and was even brave enough to nibble the end off of a funny gray one Ron wouldn't touch, which turned out to be pepper. The countryside, now flying past the window, was becoming wilder. The neat fields had gone. Now there were woods twisting rivers and dark green hills. There was a knock on the door of their compartment, and the round-faced boy Harry had passed on platform 9 3/4 came in. He looked tearful. "Sorry," he said, "but have you seen a toad at all?" When they shook their heads, he wailed, "I've lost him. He keeps getting away from me." "He'll turn up," said Harry. "Yes," said the boy miserably. "Well, if you see him." He left. "Don't know why he's so bothered," said Ron. "If I brought a toad, I'd lose it as quick as I could. Mind you, I brought Scabbers, so I can't talk." The rat was still snoozing on Ron's lap. "He might have died and you wouldn't know the difference," said Ron in disgust. "I tried to turn him yellow yesterday to make him more interesting, but the spell didn't work. I'll show you. Look." He rummaged around in his trunk and pulled out a very battered-looking wand. It was chipped in places, and something white was glinting at the end. Unicorn's hair, nearly poking out. Anyway, he had just raised his wand when the compartment door slid open again. The toadless boy was back, but this time he had a girl with him. She was wearing her new Hogwarts robes. "Has anyone seen a toad? Neville's lost one," she said. She had a bossy, okay, we're getting a new character here. She had a bossy sort of voice, lots of bushy brown hair, and rather large front teeth. "We've already told him we haven't seen it," said Ron, but the girl wasn't listening. She was looking at the wand in his hand. "Oh, are you doing magic? Let's see it then." She sat down. Ron looked taken aback. He cleared his throat. "Sunshine daisies, buttermellow, turn this stupid fat rat yellow." He waved his wand, but nothing happened. Scabbers stayed gray and fast asleep. "Are you sure that's a real spell?" said the girl. "Well, it's not very good, is it? I've tried a few simple spells just for practice, and it's all worked for me. Nobody in my family's magic at all. It was ever such a surprise when I got my letter, but I was ever so pleased, of course. I mean, it's the very best school of witchcraft there is. I've learned all our course books by heart, of course. I just hope it will be enough. I'm Hermione Granger, by the way. Who are you? All right. We are going to stop there on the top of page 106, and then we will finish this chapter tomorrow. All right, 6th graders, I hope you enjoyed that. We just met Hermione Granger. She's one of my favorites. Talk to you soon.